Okay, you see me playing around with the meat? The reason is I'm gonna roll this up into a porchetta. You see the grain of the meat? It's all going this way. If I were to line this up like this meat is going this way, and this meat is going that way. So when you cut into it, you're gonna get all different textures. So I'm just trying to play around and find a way to line everything up and still keep the meat fairly even in thickness. So that's why I'm kind of playing piece the puzzle right now. So you see the lines going this way, the grains going this way. So it should work out something like this. And as you can see, everything is kind of flat. There's no big lumps, there's no small lumps, there's no thinner parts. And I'm gonna try and roll it up and see what happens. And as you can see, once it's rolled up, everything there's a little bit missing here, so I'll figure it out. But the bulk of it, the thickness is pretty much the same, so that will guarantee you will cook around the same time. There's not going to be overdone bits and a little bit of raw bits or whatever. That's the theory. So let's see. But that's a tomorrow problem. Right now, I think I'm pretty ready to season all this up and let it dry marinate overnight. And then we'll salt up the skin to dry it all out, get the moisture out, and hopefully we can have a very crispy, crackly skin. So basically what I need to do now is I need to figure out, because this is my first time doing a porchetta, I need to find out, because I want to get all the skin to be crispy, and right now you can see it overlaps a little bit. So I need to figure out where to trim this. So basically right along here. Okay. And then once we figure that out, we're going to marinate it. Alright, let's see. So in here there's garlic powder, there is a smoked paprika, there is a sweet paprika, there is some nutmeg, there's some black pepper, and then I'm just going to grind it all up, and then I'll add some herbs into that too. I'm going to add a little bit of cumin. add equal parts of tarragon leaves. And a little bit of thyme. Just a little bit. And last but not least, some sage. And I'm gonna grind it up again. Some coarse sprinkle all over. Is anyone seeing this? Finding this nipples a little bit disturbing? Because I am. Okay, so the salt is going to draw out the moisture, and hopefully it'll create some really dry, crackling skin in the oven. You can already see, I hope you can see, how it's getting shiny already. So having the top side open in the fridge and the bottom side a little bit wrapped up, so hopefully it will keep some moisture in the meat side, and then the cold dry air inside the fridge will just kind of blow it dry. What I will do, just to show you guys how much water moisture it's come out already, straight away. Look at that. Straight away. Still coming out, see? Tray. Put it in the fridge, and leave it for 12 hours until tomorrow. Whenever the longer it marinates, the tastier it will be. My purpose is to dry out the skin as much as I can tomorrow, and I'll roll it out, let it marinate for a little bit, and then on Thursday we're gonna cook it for a party. So hopefully this will work out. Fingers crossed. Oh, Joe, out of the way. Those nipples are really disturbing. It's been about 12 hours, and look, the sides is shrunken up a little bit. It's been pulled in a little bit. The little nipples are drying up. The edges are also drying up, so it's looking quite good. What I'm gonna do now is just to check inside it. Everything inside is still moist. It's a bit wet, so I'll go clean that up. But today the main task is to use my new toy. Because there's salt in this seasoning, so as you can see, actually moisture is still coming out. So just gonna quickly put it back in the fridge, let it dry out for another night. Bye bye. So excited. Okay, today it's cook day. Stuffing, rolling, and then the last part is just to dry it out again on the skin part, and then it's ready for the oven. So as you can see, I had to strain out a lot of liquids from the tomato because I just didn't want it to have the tomato juices leak all over the place. Don't forget, my skin is already quite dry, so I want to try to keep that as dry as I can. So now I'm just going to put this back together and then layer a layer of bacon on top. Okay, ready. Now, when you roll the porchetta, you gotta remember that the loin here is probably the most tender part. So what you want to do is you want to roll it to be in the center of the porchetta. So what we're going to do is going to go from this end oh yeah. Tuck everything in, make it a little bit tight. Stuff everything back in, and then we're ready to tie this baby, nipples up and all. So it took me a short while to get back to remembering how to tie a stem knot. So basically what you do is you want to grab it tight, pull it down, make it even, top goes to the left and hold it under, over your thumb again. And as you go over your thumb, you'll see that there's a little loop that you've kept open. What you want to do is fit it from top to bottom, make it tight, and then you can just slide this in and lock it in just like that. And then you can grab, make a loop, grab the end, pull it through, and lock it in. Okay, a couple more to go. So now it's all tied down. Just gonna give the exterior a good pat down. Make sure it's just keep it nice and dry. Get all the moisture off. And because this came out of the fridge, it's been sitting in the fridge for the last full 38 to 40 hours. It's still a little bit cold, so before we put it in the oven, we want to let it sit. Let all the meat gets to like a room temperature. And then before we put it in the oven, we're gonna salt, pepper, and then just put a little bit of drizzle of oil just to help as soon as it hits the heat of the oven, just to get that skin going nice and quick. That's the theory anyway, so I'm actually quite excited to see what happens. So all the prep's done, and we're just gonna wait until cook time. Okay, it's time for the oven. High heat for the first half hour, and then turn it all the way down to 140. Cook it nice and low and slow. Until the internal temperature reaches about 130 Fahrenheit, 80-ish Celsius. Fingers crossed.